Hyperoptic, the premium Altnet that changed its entire strategy. Hyperoptic built its reputation on one thing: being better. Not cheaper, not faster to deploy, not the widest coverage, better. Premium customer experience, award-winning service. The Altnet that turned its customers into advocates. For over a decade, that positioning worked brilliantly in the high-density urban markets where Hyperoptic built its own network. And then in June 2025, Hyperoptic did something that surprised the entire industry. It stopped being a network builder and started partnering with the very incumbent it was built to challenge. The strategic pivot that followed is the most instructive story in UK Altnet economics, and it tells us something important about the limits and the opportunities of independent build in 2026. Parameter 1. Market position and financial health. Hyperoptic is one of the UK's most recognizable independent full fiber operators. Founded in 2011 by Dana Toback and Boris Ivanovic, it has deployed its own full fiber network across 1.9 million premises in 64 towns and cities. With a focus on multi-dwelling units, apartment blocks, student accommodation, and high-density residential buildings, where it built genuine infrastructure expertise. Its customer base crossed 400,000 active subscribers in June 2025, a milestone that reflected 20% year-on-year growth. Revenue for 2024 reached £114 million, up 22%, with gross profit rising 20% to £87 million. And critically, Hyperoptic generated maiden adjusted EBITDA of £2.7 million in 2024, turning positive for the first time after a £4.7 million loss. But the pre-tax losses tell the fuller financial picture. Statutory pre-tax losses for 2024 stood at £144 million, broadly similar to 2023. The gap reflects the debt service and depreciation burden of building and owning £1 billion plus of physical infrastructure across 1.9 million premises. Backed by KKR, which acquired a 75% majority stake in 2019, Hyperoptic carries a committed debt facility that requires sustained growth to service. The question of fresh funding became a topic of market speculation in late 2025, though Hyperoptic itself dismissed reports it was actively seeking new capital. Parameter 2. Leadership vision. Dana Toback CBE is one of the most respected leaders in UK broadband, a co-founder who has led Hyperoptic from a two-person startup to a 400,000 customer operator. She brings a founder's conviction to every decision. Her explanation of the Openreach pivot is revealing. Our research highlights that most customers who leave us do so because they're moving home. We understand home movers would prefer to take their Hyperoptic service with them, so today's announcement will make that possible. What Toback is describing is a customer retention problem. When a customer moves to a street Hyperoptic doesn't cover, that customer is lost. The solution is either to build everywhere, which economics don't support, or to extend reach through wholesale partnerships with incumbent operators. The Openreach partnership is therefore not a retreat. It is an expansion of what Hyperoptic can offer, without the capital cost of building. Toback's stated ambition going into 2026 is clear: exceed 2 million homes passed and surpass 500,000 customers. The own build gets her to 2 million. Parameter 3. Build strategy. Hyperoptic's build strategy has fundamentally changed in 2026, and the industry is still processing it. The own build program has shifted focus. New build activity is now explicitly guided by customer demand rather than geographic expansion targets. In practice, this means Hyperoptic is deepening penetration in its existing 64 towns and cities, filling its current network before extending it. The Openreach wholesale partnership, live from early 2026, adds at least 1 million additional addressable premises to Hyperoptic's commercial footprint. Critically, this is a retail relationship. Hyperoptic buys wholesale access from Openreach and sells Hyperoptic branded broadband. The experience remains Hyperoptic's. This hybrid model, own network in dense urban environments, Openreach wholesale in the gaps, is a pragmatic evolution. It allows Hyperoptic to maintain its premium service positioning across a wider geography without the capital intensity of network build in lower density areas. Parameter 4. Growth formula. Hyperoptic's growth formula in 2026 rests on 3 levers. Lever 1. Own network commercialization. With 1.9 million premises passed and a 21% take-up rate, there is room to improve. Moving to 30% adds approximately 170,000 customers. That is highly capital-efficient growth. Lever 2. Openreach footprint extension, adding 1 million premises with zero infrastructure investment. If Hyperoptic converts even 5% of those premises in year 1, that is 50,000 additional customers on the existing cost base. Lever 3. Customer experience as the competitive moat. Hyperoptic consistently scores among the highest satisfaction ratings of any provider. In a commoditizing market where gigabit speeds are available on every street, service quality and brand reputation are the differentiating factors. Hyperoptic's investment in customer experience is therefore not a cost, it is a commercial strategy. Parameter 5, the honest challenge. The honest picture is that the strategy pivot is the right call, but it comes with real risks. The redundancy announcement in December 2025, affecting approximately 5% of the workforce, is a visible signal of the transition. Restructuring away from network build toward commercialization is coherent, but it creates disruption precisely as the Openreach partnership goes live. The Openreach relationship is also a double-edged sword. Hyperoptic is now dependent on Openreach's infrastructure quality and fault resolution. If Openreach's service in those areas falls below Hyperoptic standards, and Hyperoptic cannot control it, the brand takes the reputational hit. Managing customer expectations across two fundamentally different network environments is a genuine operational challenge. And the strategic question, does Hyperoptic's premium positioning survive the move to mass market broadband via Openreach wholesale? The brand was built on their own infrastructure. Customers on Openreach are receiving a different product, even if the brand wrapping is the same. Here is the one insight to take from this episode. Hyperoptic's pivot is the most honest acknowledgement of what independent build can achieve. You can build a premium network, you can build a loyal customer base, but you cannot build everywhere. And if your customers move, you lose them. The outcome, whether Hyperoptic emerges as a scaled premium ISP or a niche operator that overextended, will be determined by commercial delivery. Next week, GigaClear and Fibrous, the operators building where nobody else will, and why rural broadband is both the hardest challenge and the most important mission. What is your experience of Hyperoptic, and do you think the Openreach pivot is the right strategy? Drop it in the comments. See you next.